It's another edition of Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. Three guests on the program this morning. We'll talk to Steve Slessor. He is from WinnMed. A community needs assessment is going on right now. You have a chance to give your 2 cents on what WinnMed provides and what you would like to see the organization provide. We'll talk to Steve about that a little later on in the program. Beginning today, it's the 15th annual Oneota Film Festival in Decorah. We'll talk to Elise Skellenger about that event that begins tonight in Decorah. But our first guest this morning, a familiar voice on LA Communications, especially to those of you that follow our wrestling coverage. Dave Anderson, he is with the Turkey Valley Education Association. Their gala is coming up, and he will tell us more about that. It's Our Town. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust, and you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. First guest this morning, a man very familiar to LA Communications listeners, helps us out on the sports end of things and the wrestling end of things. Him and I spend a lot of time together in February. We got to take a few weeks off from each other to keep our sanity, but here he is again, Dave Anderson. And he's talking about the Turkey Valley Education Foundation. Their gala is coming up a week from Saturday night. And first, before we talk about the event itself, Dave, tell us about the Turkey Valley Education Foundation, its goal, and its purpose.
Yeah, when the board was founded, we had a bunch of really insightful board members that put this together to support and enhance the educational opportunities for our students at Turkey Valley. If we can release some stress on the budget at school, what we can't do is we can't fund salaries and benefits for staff members and support members and everything, but we can help with other opportunities such as field trips and keeping costs out of pocket for parents as well is a key thing that we do. And amongst other things, technology needs, sound needs, et cetera. Pretty much anything that is other than salary benefits. If we get an application for it and it fits our guidelines, then we're going to go ahead and fund that for the staff.
And give us some examples over the years of how the Education Foundation has been able to enhance some of those opportunities for Turkey Valley students.
Well, as of recently, we've been able to purchase some amplification systems for elementary teachers that are a little bit more soft-spoken. Kids that may have trouble hearing can hear their teacher better. They can retain better what's being said, and it helps the entire room. And so we've bought some amplification systems for our elementary teachers. If you've been on Highway 24, which you have, and others have in Jackson Junction there at Turkey Valley, you'll see a beautiful big greenhouse in front. And we contributed a pretty large amount of money to that as well to help for our ag education and FFA department to have that too. And that's an opportunity for those kids that are in those particular fields to learn, a business, what it's like to grow, and what do we need to sell it for? What's our input cost? What do we need to make some money at this type deal? I think that's important. We live in an egg-based, state, and I think it's really important as well. The Missoula Children's Theater has been in town several times at Turkey Valley to work with our elementary kids and through the week, and then they put them on stage on Friday in front of family and friends and staff members and let them put on a play. And it kind of puts them on the comfort zone at a young age. I think that's a great benefit as well. Various field trips, too many to count field trips to different locations and different things that we've helped to fund the busing costs so that, again, back to parents not having to pay for that cost or the school having to take it out of their transportation budget. That helps us out in that regard for the school itself. And so those are, a 3D printer, helping our robotics team, and just some of the samples that we have of what we've been able to do.
And the gala itself, we mentioned, is coming up a week from Saturday. Give us the specifics of that event.
It is a week from Saturday, March the 15th, at the Waukoma Event Center down in Waukoma. They treat us so well down there. It's a great event center. If you haven't been there, it's really something in a small town, Northeast Iowa, that you don't even see in a lot of places. And so we'll start our social at 4:30. Dinner starts at 6. It's Pulaski's prime rib. They do an outstanding job with prime rib, amongst all the other things they do a great job of, and they're great supporters of our students and everybody here in Northeast Iowa, and especially Turkey Valley. Marvin Tracy from Bubba's Barbecue will put together potato and salad and all the fixings as well. And Your donation's $45 to get in the door. And then with that donation, you get two drink tickets to go to the bar with and get your selection of whatever you'd like to drink. There's wine at the table plus the meal. And then we'll have a 50-50 drawing as well that will take part in that night as well. And then our high school kids there's high school kids that will volunteer their evening to serve the meal along with others as well. We have staff that help out and do a great job. And it's a chance for people to see old friends and celebrate Turkey Valley. And I know a lot of our staff members enjoy coming to it to get and do something besides just being at school with each other as well. And so it's a good night. It's a great cause, and we're excited again this year. And our board has been working really hard and running up to this too.
And I know usually some of your students give a little sneak preview of the spring play. Is that going to happen again this year?
It will. Yep. Yep. That's a good point. They will do that as well, which will be later on here in the month of March. So we're excited to have the kids being able to do that as well. And that'll be just a little bit of an entertainment for us. And then we'll wrap up the night with a live auction. And there's a lot of great items in that live auction that we're a 501(c)(3) organization, so we always tell people to check your tax preparer. But your donation to the cause is tax deductible. Again, you have to talk to your tax preparer. But I want to before we get done here too, Darren. This board that we're on they did such a great job. I don't think people understand the countless number of hours they put into doing this. And so this is a twofold reason I want to thank these people and getting the opportunity to work with them too is the fact that these are people, if you know them, tickets will be available. And I think they probably would say it's okay to sell up to the weekend here, up till Monday. They're available at Turkey Valley, but also if our board president is Michelle Telesti, and then we also have Nicole Reichs, who's our treasurer, our secretary, and Lindsay Wenthold is our treasurer, and Julie Werzer. Kim Kuhn is on our board. Steve Kuhn's been on there. Steve and Kim have been on there a long time. Jeannie Loftus has been with us quite a while. Mary Schmidt. And then we'll have a new board member coming on here, is with us now, and will be taking over here at the end of the scala and helping out full time, so to speak. And that's Tyler Hackman. So we've got a great bunch of people that really have a lot of care and passion for our school and our kids. We can't thank enough also to Michelle Hoy, our faculty representative, who is our principal at Turkey Valley. She does yeoman's duty for us as well. She's constantly sending us emails, interacting with our staff and whatnot. I want to thank the folks at the front office that sell the tickets for us up at front there at Turkey Valley in the main office and the high school side of things too. So do a great job, and we can't thank enough too. And this will be handed out on the night of the gala too to our alumni. We have really, really great alumni, Darren. You know a lot of them yourself, and they do a great job of supporting our school. Our staff does a great job as well, and our administration and the past board members that had the insight to do this and put this together. School budgets are tight. They're being pinched. It doesn't matter if it's a school the size of Decorah or it's Turkey Valley or it's West Des Moines Valley. They're being pinched. And so if we can release some stress on those budgets and on families, man, we're all for it. And I think that's a great thing. So we're looking forward to a good night. Again, Saturday, March 15th at 4:30, the social, 6 o'clock with a dinner. Tickets are $45 for your donation, and they will only be sold in advance so we can make sure we get our food correct and what we need and what we don't need.
Anything we're missing? Anything else you need to touch on about the event itself or the work of the Turkey Valley Education
No,
Foundation?
we just can't thank everybody enough. I can't thank you enough for letting me be on here. I know we give each other a hard time, and we spend a lot of time together. But what you do for everybody here in Northeast Iowa, not just our group but others. It's this kind of segment is awesome. And but yeah, and I will throw my phone number out there too. If you need tickets, they're still available, and you can text or call me at 319-290-3945. Again, that's 319-290-3945. And we'll set tickets aside for you. We'll get them to you one way or the other, without question.
All right, Dave, appreciate the time, and thanks for taking the time, and thanks for you and everybody with the Turkey Valley Education Foundation Board for what you do for young people in that school district.
Oh, we appreciate
Coming
it.
up this weekend is the Oneota Film
Valley
Festival.
Education
15
Foundation. The
years
gala
of the
coming up
Oneota Film Festival
a week
in
from
Decorah,
Saturday
and
night.
Elise Skellenger is with us to discuss everything going on this weekend. And Elise, tell us all about it. All the fun starts Thursday night.
Yep, starts Thursday at Hotel Winneshiek. On our opening night, we will be up in the Steyr Opera House, and the film is Songs of the Earth. And then the rest of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are in 7 different locations this year. We got 2 new ones. So our returning locations are T-Box upstairs, Drift Strength and Yoga Center, which is on the third floor of Impact, Hotel Winnashik Art House, and the All Vets Club. And our two new ones this year are Pulpit Rock Brewery and Vesterheim.
And I know all the work that you guys do culminates in this weekend, but how much planning goes into putting on this festival?
So we open up film submissions pretty much as soon as the festival is over each year. And then our board does take a few months off in the spring and summer. And then once fall hits, then we start meeting again. So pretty much it's year round, but most of the commitment is from September to March. And films can be submitted to us from all over the world. And then our judging panel watches them during the spring and the summer so that in the fall we're ready to start narrowing down the films that we're going to be showing in March.
And what has allowed this festival to reach the 15-year period? Because that's a nice little milestone, and hopefully many, many years to come after that. But what has allowed this festival to be sustainable?
Absolutely. Oh, a lot of things. First and foremost, our sponsors and our members that financially support us so that we can continue to bring this programming. And then our awesome venues that allow us to show films at their locations. That's a huge undertaking for them too, to allow us to have the space for 3 full days. And then just the community of Decorah has always been very responsive, and they show up, they invite people, they bring friends, and it's they support us, and it's great.
And what would you say for someone maybe unfamiliar with this event? What is the mission statement? What is the goal of the Oneota Film Festival year in and year out?
Our goal is to bring films that talk about a wide variety of issues. I think that film is a great medium to tackle some of the big issues of today and things that we're dealing with. Film is very impactful and powerful and is used to explore both sides of issues in a really cohesive way. But it is also not just about serious issues. We have fun. We have some entertaining films as well. So there really is something for everybody. And the other thing is our board knows that it's very important for these films to be accessible by everyone. So we don't charge for the film festival. It's completely free. So anybody can attend. And if there's just one film that people want to watch, they can just come and watch one. If they want to stay for the entire weekend, there's plenty of films.
How many total films are going to be a part of this weekend?
Including the youth films, there's over 60 this year,
Wow.
which is a lot.
No doubt about it. You touched on the fun coming up Thursday night for the kickoff at the Hotel Winnashik. I know there's going to be films throughout the weekend, but maybe run down some of the highlighted events in connection to the festival.
Yeah, we kind of have one event each day outside of just the film. So on Friday night, there's the off social at Impact Coffee. So Driftless Jazz is going to be playing some music. And so that's a good way for people to just hang out outside of watching the films. And then on Saturday night at T-Box, we have our Meet the Filmmakers reception. So that's a great time to get both audiences and filmmakers together in one room. That's when we have our award ceremony. That's a great chance to meet new filmmakers that you haven't met and just chat with other people that enjoy film. And on Sunday, our new event this year is we have coffee with filmmakers at Porterhouse on Sunday morning.
And just like everything else, all of those events are free, correct?
Exactly. Yep.
And how many maybe states, maybe countries, how far do people come to Decorah this weekend to show off their productions?
This year, I don't know if we have any international filmmakers
Okay.
coming, although we are showing some films from international filmmakers. But yeah, all over the world, California, Pennsylvania, or all over the states, rather. California, Pennsylvania, uh, the Driftless area, Wisconsin and Minnesota tend to always bring good filmmakers. But yeah, all over.
And it's to me, it's one of those neat things that when you think of filmmaking, you think of major metro areas, New York, Los Angeles, major metro areas. And events like this go to prove that you can be from middle America, you can be from the South, you can be from anywhere, you can be from small towns, big towns, and you can put out quality productions. Is that, in your mind, one of the neatest things about this festival lasting 15 years like it has?
Absolutely. Yeah, independent films doesn't mean low quality.
No.
They do a lot with some low budgets, and some of them get some big budgets too. And our state, I think, does a great job of promoting filmmaking in the state. We are the first film festival of the year in Iowa. We're kind of the kickoff for the whole season, but there are dozens of film festivals even just in our state. So there's a lot going on here in Iowa.
All right, Elise, anything else folks need to know? Anything we haven't touched on about the film festival coming up this weekend?
I would say that if people want to learn more, they can visit our website, which is oneotafilmfestival.org. And then we do also have film books that are printed, and those are scattered throughout the community in our venues and some of our sponsors. So you can pick one up, mark it up with the films that you want to attend, and make a plan. We'll see you this weekend.
All right, always a fun weekend in Decorah, showing off the quality work of many quality people coming to town this
WinnMed
weekend.
is in
Elise,
the
we
process
thank you
of
for
putting out
taking
its
a little bit of
community
time, and we thank you
health
and
needs
the Film Festival
assessment
board for
survey.
all the
And
hard
here
work
to discuss that
you
is
guys
Steve
put
Slessor
into this
with
weekend.
WinnMed. And Steve, tell us about
in an
this
event
survey.
that has
What
become
is the
kind of a
reason
staple
you
of
guys
the
do a
community
survey like
this
this?
time of year. Thanks for the time.
Yeah,
Best of
thanks,
luck with the
Darren, for the
event this
opportunity to
weekend.
come chat about
Yeah,
it.
thanks for having
There are
me.
actually two
Elise
reasons
Skellenger
to
is
do
with
a
the
survey
Oneota Film
like this.
Festival Thursday
I'll start
through
with
Sunday
the not
here
as
in
exciting
Decorah.
reason and go on to the more exciting reason. So, it is a regulatory requirement of all hospitals to complete a community health needs assessment, and that needs to happen every 3 years. So, we're on that 3 year cycle, which is due here now, and that's why we're completing it at the time that we're doing. The more exciting, I think, answer to that is that this is a survey that allows us to hopefully get a good perspective from our county and beyond about what health needs they feel like need to be met better, or that we're not meeting now that we could meet in the future. So in the last survey that was done 3 years ago, there were things like mental health services that were certainly identified there. There were housing concerns certainly identified there. And there's things that'll absolutely fall within WinnMed's bucket to work on directly, and things that are more of a community-wide project. But without hearing from our actual community members, it's really hard to pinpoint where they feel like we need to be doing more to better serve their needs.
How do you determine what needs can be met through WinMed? How do you determine what needs are maybe bigger picture needs?
Yeah, great question. So, one of the things that we're going to be doing this year after we get the results back is certainly we'll be reviewing this with our administrative team, but our board of trustees is very anxious to learn the results of this and to really dig into them. We have some board members that are very passionate about the community health needs assessment and really want to make sure that the results of that are discussed at the board level and used when we go into our next strategic planning session to determine our next 1 and 2 year strategic tactics. So what I would say is that I think the board is going to engage in a discussion when we get the results back and help us as a leadership team identify, we as WinMed think we can have a direct impact on these items, and these items over here, we maybe have more of an indirect impact, but how can we still align with the community to help meet those needs? So, I'll use housing as an example. I think it's a little bit less clear about what's WinMed's role in housing. I don't have an answer for you on that today, but I'd be surprised if that didn't come back up in this health needs assessment. And so I think the board will have a discussion. What roles should WinMed play in something like housing? Again, if mental health services come back up, well, I think that pretty clearly is an avenue that is at least partially, if not totally, under WinMed's umbrella to help try to meet the need. So it'll depend on the topic, but I think our board is very anxious to dig into those results.
How can people take this survey? Where is it available?
Yeah. So the survey is available in multiple locales. We worked with some community partners to actually have paper surveys there, but the easiest way to do it is really to go on our website where it is available. We also put out a social media link to it on Facebook where folks can click that link and go in and take the survey. But really, the easiest way is to go onto our webpage, click the link, and fill it out from there. And we've already had, I think this went out like 3 days ago, and we've already had just about 100 people sign up to take it. So we're off to a good start. It'll be available through March 31st. So people have another 3.5 weeks to take it.
You mentioned this is done every 3 years. Based on the previous one that was done 3 years ago, what has the public seen differently since that time with the services that you provide and maybe some of the physical infrastructure that you have at WinnMed?
Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, we've continued to grow the services that we're offering to the community. I think everybody has seen that in a variety of different ways, from the new specialists that we've added to obviously the new facilities. But as I mentioned, one of the areas that came up last time around was mental health, and we have continued to invest in the last 3 years in our integrated behavioral health program. And also decided to recruit for a psychiatrist. That would be a new add to WinnMed to help better address those needs. Unfortunately, we haven't yet hired a psychiatrist. Physician recruitment is always a challenge, even though we've been successful in it, but that is still an active posting that we have out there and something that we're still looking to add to better meet the community's mental health care needs. There was also expressed in the survey about the lack of childcare options that came through the community health needs assessment. And certainly WinnMed stepped up in a really big way in that arena when we did the land donation to allow the new sunflower facility to be constructed on a land now adjacent to our campus. So certainly that was something that was called out in the last survey, and WinnMed absolutely put our money or our land where our mouth is there to try to do something to help that situation.
And this might be a trite question with something as important as this survey, but how long does it take to take the survey?
It takes roughly 10 minutes, I think, is what our marketing team has estimated. So it won't take very long to click through the survey. 5 to 10 minutes, I would say.
And you mentioned folks have until March 31st to fill out this survey. How long does it take for the administrative team and the board of trustees to get the results after that final date?
Really quick. So the survey tool utilized is something that pretty much the day that people stop taking and that we start closing the survey is the day that we can start seeing results. So, I mean, we're talking about weeks before the administrative team will be able to review it. If it's completed on March 31st, probably won't make the April board meeting for discussion, but I bet it'll be on the May board meeting for discussion in early May.
All right. Anything else people need to know about this survey or anything else going on at WinnMed right now?
Yeah, I think the survey, no, I think we've kind of captured everything on the survey. I guess I'll add in one thing, that the survey is offered in English and Spanish, both. So both of those options do exist to take the survey. I guess I would take a moment to just highlight our continued growth in services. Certainly with our new OB birthing suites being opened, that's really exciting. Our 2 new operating rooms will open in late May, and our new clinic expansion will open in September. So some of the big facility initiatives are beginning to come to a close and be open for services. And then another couple of exciting items. We have had great success in our recruitment efforts. Now we're recruiting people as WinnMed employed physicians as opposed to Mayo Clinic employed physicians. And that's been true now for the last 4 months that our recruiting efforts have been in that regard. And we're having really awesome success out of the gate. So I can tell you at this point, we've signed a new urologist that'll start this summer. And we've also signed a family practice physician that'll start in September. And we have 2 other exciting developments in recruitment that are not quite ready for prime time, but that we'll be announcing here over the next month and a half. So the recruitment efforts of individuals starting as WinnMed employed physicians have been really strong out of the gate with our recent change. And then we do have a new Mayo Clinic physician that'll be starting here. There was an individual that had signed before the change in some of our contracts. So he'll be a Mayo Clinic doc coming in the door, and that is a new dermatologist, Jason Zach, and he will start with us full time in late May. So a lot of new specialties that we're adding and bolstering, and looking forward to filling up that new building that we built in pretty quick order.
And I'll ask one more question based on the recruitment. You said you've had some pretty good success on the recruitment end of things.
Yep.
A, why do you think that is? And B, what challenges still persist when it comes to recruitment?
Yeah. So we have some team members here. I'll call out specifically Dr. Tom Marquardt, who's our Chief Medical Officer, and Dave Rooney, our Chief Operating Officer. And those two have really partnered together in WinnMed's recruitment effort for a number of years, and I think have a long documented history of success. Even with the change with the Mayo relationship, it's still those two individuals leading the charge on recruitment, and they have a great process that has really demonstrated to prospective candidates about the value of the community and the value of WinnMed as an organization. And still, the fact that we're sitting here in Decorah and all the wonderful things that this area of the state provides is certainly a big deal in our successful recruitment efforts. And then, being in the town where Luther College is, Luther is key to our success, and those Luther ties still continue to matter to prospective candidates, both that were a college community, along with individuals that may have once had a Luther connection that potentially are looking to come back. We also now have some assistance with the new recruitment firm. We've been really impressed with them, and they've helped bring candidates to the table as well. So multifactorial, but I think our community shows incredibly well. This part of the state shows incredibly well, and our organization and all the progressive growth, I think, demonstrates to prospective physician candidates that this is the right place to be.
All right, Steve, we appreciate you taking some time to tell us about everything happening at WinnMed. Thanks for the time as always, and thanks for everyone at WinnMed for making our community a better place.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Darren. Thank you.
Steve Slessor, WinnMed in Decorah Community Health Needs Assessment. It's available until March 31st. Thank you to our guest on the program, Dave Anderson with the Turkey Valley Education Association. Dave told us all about the gala coming up a week from Saturday. Beginning tonight, it's the 15th annual Oneota Film Festival in Decorah. Elise Skellenger told us all about that. And the Community Needs Assessment survey taking place from now until the end of the month for WinnMed in Decorah. And we thank Steve Slessor for telling us all about that. Don't forget, we put these shows on YouTube each and every week. You're a busy person. You got a lot of things going on. Can't be near a smart speaker or a radio device at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning. But we get to talk about interesting subjects with interesting people. And we want to bring these conversations to you on your schedule. So if you're out and about, just go to 3-6 Our Town program. You can search that way on YouTube. We also put the links up on all of our LA Communications Facebook pages. It's the best way we can keep in touch with our communities, because without you folks, none of this makes sense. So, we thank our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. We thank our guests. And we thank you, that's right, you, for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.